Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's breakdown for GER40, the 15th of September. We had a wild one. It was an amazing day, amazing end of the week. Two trades during the stream, both for 20 pips, and then we got an absolute banger for New York, but wasn't streaming that, but I will cover that in this video anyway. Idea was given in the stream to watch for this. Depends if you were still awake at that time or trading that time. We did have a little bit of news, so let me just bring that up real quick. It was in the New York session. We had Empire State Manufacturing Index, and then we had University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment. We didn't really have anything going on too much in the Euro session, except for we had some later after the stream, President Lagarde came back to finish what she didn't say yesterday. But she actually started the speech a little bit later than forecast here. I think more or less like half an hour later on. Anyway, it was an amazing session. So we got to the stream about 7:30ish, 7:45. So Asian session. Let me just backtrack one day. So we had a massive rally after the ECB hiked their rates, and then were a bit of a dovish hike, where they said she basically signaled the end of the hiking cycle, which she said everything but saying it. So she said it was like we're at a rate that will bring inflation down. We expect to hold, and then she said she tried to leave the door open that they weren't quite finished. Stock market loved that news, so they just rallied on all of them across the board. And we know indices are contagious, so things that if New York is rallying, New York indices, Euro indices are rallying, so Australian indices. So we can see like really a common theme. Anyway, going with the momentum, Asian session liked that news as well. So they had their little pullback rally, and they went around 64 pips. Okay. Then we had good old Euro. When they opened up, we had price pulled back a little bit. This is just the first hour of the Euro, what I call like pre-London, the Euro Open. Then we've got the actual official Frankfurt Open, the DAX. This is where price rallied, and then we had a little pullback. We had a little tiny pullback, and that was like prices up here like a minute before price a minute before candle closed. So I'll show you that real quick. Go to the 1 minute, and you can see like literally the last minute before the open, price just dropped very quickly. Like it was not even the last minute; it was like the last seconds. So after, I like the fast moves. Fast moves often the false move. As price pushed down, and then we got the open, I was only looking for buys. You go back to the stream and have a look. I was only looking for buys from the outset. But I wanted to see a pullback first. So when price was up here, I couldn't take a buy unless we had a little pullback first, and that pullback came in the seconds before the news. Before the open. So as we pushed down and then we opened, I took a trade as we were pushing up back up here. But I actually pushed the buy like it was around here, but because it moved so quickly and there was a little delay on my terminal that put my entry here. Pretty keen for this one to keep on going. I had my points of interest over to the left. This is a wick, this purple and green box. And then I was just looking for a quick move. As you know, I don't really like taking breakout trades too much. So secured my trade at 20 pips profit up here. Next minute candle, basically just pushed up and up and up. And that was it, you know, from the entry. 15,938. This box is a little bit high. So 15,938 was, I haven't touched these charts since I got here. That was about where I took profit for this one. So very quick, you know, very quick trade. Was basically done minutes into the open. Anywho, what I was then looking for was price to continue. I was still keen for some sells if I saw price action that I liked, and I just had to sort of wait that out. So this dropped up to a 3 minute time frame. Okay, price pushed up and then came down a little retest and then just kept on pushing up. Okay. So the next trade was taken when it was for these sells. And what I was waiting for was price to push up into the zone for me to take that sell. I saw, where was it? Let me just check real quick. The sell was taken. Yeah, 9:15. So a little bit longer, a bit more to go. Okay. After it tapped into this, yeah, this is it. This is where it was. The lower edge of this zone is like on a higher time frame. It was just support resistance across the board. And then once price tapped into it, after it pushed up from this outset here, I was looking at this zone to trade off of. I did say in New York, wait for a 15-minute candle, as we saw like 2 weeks ago. It was just continuous. Once you had a 15-minute rejection candle followed by a retest, you can take those sells, those counter trend sells. But this was just a little scalp for as we're pushing price up. Found this little resistance. This was anticipation entry. I was a little bit uncertain though about taking, like, this is the doji, and then as it was breaking the high, I had to wait for a bit of a confirmation, and I said wait for a candle to close bearish, like a solid bearish candle. So as soon as this candle had closed bearish, engulfing the little doji, then the trade was taken on the retest. Price was, there's about a 15 pip stop, and then I was targeting 20 pips again. So that was about more or less about here. So price did the little retest on the next candle, shot down, and that was it. Another trade just done. Like, you could look for these on any time frame, to be honest. This is just really nice price action at a zone of interest that you've already identified, waiting for candles to close bearish, look for a little retest on the next candle, and then just look for like a 1.5 to 1, whatever it is that gives you range. Price, there's a support resistance just right across here. Price wasn't really closing above, closed up, then a little fake out, sat as resistance, then sat as a support. Plenty of room here for this kind of trade. Just in and out. So there were the 220 pip trades. Then I was saying for New York session, this is the pathway that I drew out, just saying this is what I'm looking for. Price to push up into the zone, tap into it, and then have that reaction. New York session, I was hoping would be able to sweep the highs and push down. New York didn't sweep the high, but we saw a 15-minute. Let me jump up to the 15 minutes. Just got to wait for price action to show you the way to go. This is 15-minute pushed up, and then we saw a beautiful 15-minute rejection candle. Lovely, lovely wick right here. So let me just remove this one. So if this is a true liquidity candle, sweeping the high and then closing bearish, we want to see price push down a bit. Then you would have this wick area as the retest zone. So price did indeed push down. Okay, so it confirms that they grabbed liquidity. Now you want to see the retest. Price eventually came back up. This is after I'd well and truly finished the stream. And then I was just talking to the guys on Discord about it. Price wicked up over here, and you can see it tapped right into this liquidity wick and then closed bearish. So we've got two rejections from this zone. When you see two rejections from this zone, very high probability that support is going to break and you look for downside. So as close to resistance as you can get this entry would be your anticipation entry. Waiting for a confirmation would be waiting for this candle to close. You can still look for the retest and then push down. Sometimes you'll miss it because it will just go straight down. Other times you'll get lucky and you will get that retest to get still decent risk reward. Look at the timing. The timing was 12 o'clock UK time when this candle reacted. This is the first 15 minutes of the 1 hour candle. So we've got New York session around the corner. New York session started in 1 hour's time at 1 p.m. on here because this is UK time. But at 1 p.m., New York session will come in with their own volume and they might do a little whip up and then sell off because they're not going to want to, you got to think logically, just about like human behavior. If we've moved up so much in this New York session, Asian session was bullish, Euro session was bullish, London session was bullish, New York is going to have a real hard time pushing up as well, because they're going to be, they're buying the high. They're going to be wanting to like reconnect this New York session. They left the charts here, so there's a very good chance that they're going to bring price up to make it look like it's going to go up, or like a little as soon as New York session opens, they might have a little pullback, and then they'll drive down to sort of reconnect these New York sessions. Also, fundamentally, if interest rates still went up, and the GDP in Germany is still not looking good. So it's still a hard pill to swallow for saying that, the stock market should just go to the moon now because we've stopped hiking interest rates. Interest rates are high. They're really high. So there is going to be some sort of pullback. So these were beautiful zones of interest that we can find reactions. Now, once we've at these zones, we've had our reaction. We've had 2 rejection candles. Very good chance now that support will break and we'll have the correction. Okay, so let's have a look a bit more. Let's zoom into when New York session started. So there's another 3 more of these 15-minute candles. 1, 2, 3. This is now the close of the 12 o'clock candle coming into the New York Open. New York Open gives another rejection wick. See how like spikes up, trapping breakout buyers, closing nice and bearish. Now you've got 3 reactions, 3 rejection wicks. Huge chance now that price is going to break support. Okay, we did have a little bit of news at 1:30 as well, which price did use on the back of this one. This is the just before the news candle. This was the New York Empire State Manufacturing. Price broke down, closed below, and then she just really sold off. And you would have netted 100 pips easy if like super risk reward. Just beautiful move from top down to the bottom, 115 pip correction. Great trade. Great if you took that and you ended the week on a positive. For me, it was a fantastic week. We had basically just every day was a blessing. So I'm going to leave it there. That's pretty much the trade breakdowns for today. Done one pretty much I missed one day this week from doing the trade breakdown, but they're all contained in the streams. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you give the channel some support, like it, hit the button hit the bell, subscribe, keep up to date with all the streams when they're coming. I'll see you on Monday morning. Okay. So trade safe. Have a good weekend. I'll see you later.